I'm Samantha Vee, and I'm currently a PhD student at Boston University. I study immune function in wild Bornean orangutans, and specifically I'm interested in understanding how factors like diet, reproduction, and sociality affect their health. Orangutans face a few threats. The main ones are increasing human population pressures, which cause them to encroach on orangutan habitats. Their habitats are also being reduced at a really rapid pace from logging, conversion for agriculture, especially palm plantations, forest fires, hunting, and also the illegal pet trade. Orangutans are mostly solitary and they don't spend a lot of time around others, so they might not have that opportunity to encounter pathogens and develop immune defenses against them like we do. Also, with increasing overlap between humans and orangutan habitats, there's a much higher risk of orangutans acquiring diseases from humans that they're not adapted to handle. Also, with increasing habitat fragmentation, this can cause stress and change their food availability and affect their health in ways that we don't fully understand yet. My field site is in Gunung Palung National Park in West Kalimantan, Borneo. It's a pretty remote location and takes a while to get there, but once you do, it's absolutely incredible. It encompasses this gradient of 7 different habitat types, which you can distinguish by looking at changes in forest structure and plant species as you're hiking through them. And our actual home base where we sleep, where we process our samples, is called Cabang Panti, and that's located conveniently right in the middle of all of this, so it's pretty central to all the trails and different habitat types. I would usually wake up at around 4 a.m. to get to the orangutan before they wake up, and we would try to collect urine and fecal samples from them before they leave their nest and start moving around. And from there, we would essentially go wherever they go, while collecting behavioral data, looking at what they're eating, who they're interacting with, if any, and we essentially do this until they go to sleep for the night, which happens between 5 to 6 p.m. Other days I would head back to camp in the afternoon and help process all the samples that were collected, and we would do things like initial health assessments with urinary dipsticks, fecal parasite analysis, also weighing and preserving samples for analysis or further analysis when they get shipped back to the States eventually. So my first time seeing an adult flanged male was really special. His name was Alfred, and he was a lot bigger than all of the other females I'd seen in the weeks before. And orangutans tend to stay pretty high up in the trees, so you're usually watching them through binoculars for most of the day. But Alfred would come down a lot closer to the ground, maybe like at eye level sometimes, so he was just really fun to watch and follow just because you could see everything he was doing so much more clearly than the other orangutans. I've always been interested in science, but I didn't learn about primates or primatology as a career field until I was an undergrad. And I continued pursuing this once I learned about it because I was just so fascinated by how similar they were to humans, especially the other great apes. Also, as I learned more about primates, I realized a lot of them are endangered, especially orangutans, which are critically endangered. So I felt somewhat obligated to study a topic that would contribute to their conservation, which is why I'm looking at their health and immune function now in my own research.